Honestly, things you do for fun is ridiculous. So before we start, I know what you're thinking. He's got to 130 subscribers, he's completely going to change. But don't worry guys, not me. No. Now that I've got to this pinnacle of my career, don't worry, I'm still the same person. We're still going to have these chats. Still going to be just like it was, I promise you. So hi guys, welcome to another episode of 2 Weeks at a Time, the show where it goes through my life as a filmmaker here in the UK and the lessons that I've learned. But let's be honest, it's mainly mistakes that I'm telling you about. So aside from the podcast editing, I shot a video for a company down in historic Chatham dockyards and also a video for my friends at Corkers, following them behind the scenes in their day-to-day activities. And that's where most of my lessons came from. So the very first lesson is mic up your subject. I try to be clever and just have my shotgun mic on the side of my camera. Trust me, it doesn't work. Stick a lav on them. I know it can be a pain, but the reality is you're not actually going to be interviewing that many people. If you plan your shoot right, you can get the mic on one person for the majority of the day and then switch it over. But the second and the main lesson that I've learned this week is from editing. So I was listening to an audiobook, Getting Things Done by David Allen, which I'd highly recommend. And just in passing, he talked about his English teacher that told him to write things down on post-it notes, spread them out, and then make your story out of that. It becomes way more obvious. And I thought, I've shot all this footage from Corkers, loads of behind the scenes, some really great content, but I didn't know how to piece it together to make a story of it. So what I did was I took a pack of post-it notes, wrote down each of the clips that I clipped up, which I thought would be great for an episode, and then simply just moved them around to get my stories. So let's put this in a practical example. So we've got our post-it notes, we wrote down all our cuts. So we've got Ben told Julie, Karen slagged Julie to Ben, Julie forgave Karen, Julie smacked Karen in the mouth. Right, okay, so what we're first gonna do is just lay them out and say, right, okay, so the obvious sequence for this is that Karen slagged Julie to Ben. And then Ben told Julie, and then we've got two alternative options, which is either Julie forgave Karen or Julie smacked Karen in the mouth. And obviously, we don't want to see Julie forgive Karen, so we just get rid of that. And so there you go, there's your sequence. Now, that is a very, very basic example, but that's exactly what I did for Corkers. I just wrote down all the cuts, put them on post-it notes, and seeing them there in front of me, I knew which order they would go in. And I think it turned out actually really well. So hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Again, another quick one. I'm trying to keep these episodes really short and bite-sized and things that you can action. So I will see you next week on another video and in 2 weeks time on 2 Weeks at a Time. And you'll also, somewhere in between this, see an interview for a podcast, a series that I haven't yet decided on what it's called or what it's going to be, but I'm interviewing someone tonight and you will see that very soon. So I will see you in another video.